moving on to TV and film, we saw on-set photos of Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, and Hugh Jackman is in the classic blue and yellow Wolverine costume. Finally, and it looks really good.
It does. It does.
There's been a little bit of a debate online about the fact that he has sleeves. Wolverine doesn't usually have sleeves. He usually just has the gloves.
There's a reason for that, though.
Yeah. Even though
Yeah.
I follow on Instagram, he has been working out and he is jacked again. So it's like he looks more than good enough to rock it without sleeves. But the reason it probably has sleeves is because he's like, I'm old and I'm not dehydrating myself anymore to play this character. So just cover me up.
Yeah, and he's real I flubbed that all the way up. He's real susceptible to skin cancer, so
Yeah,
they took that,
for sure.
yeah, in mind.
So yeah, he's just, he's playing his character as a much older man. So it makes sense. But yeah, it looks good. Deadpool's costume was also updated a little bit, especially with the red is much brighter. It was much darker and more kind of diluted in the last two films. This is one of the very few cases where the MCU has made a costume brighter.
Mm.
um, they tend to make the colors in certain costumes kind of washed out. But their costume design have been getting better and better as the years go by. They've never been bad. They've just been, in my opinion, over designed, and they're starting to make them a lot more simple, and I like that. Yeah, this will be Deadpool's MCU debut, and it's going to be full of a bunch of meta jokes. It's going to be as meta as possible. And
Right.
a lot of theories going around is that this will not probably most definitely will be probably like a swan song for the Fox's old X-Men universe, and supposedly a bunch of characters from that old X-Men universe will be making an appearance in this film. So I'm excited to see how they do
Ooh.
that. Because Hugh Jackman did
Uh,
say like years ago that the only way he'll play Wolverine again is if he gets to play Wolverine in the MCU, and he's playing Wolverine again in the MCU. And this will
nice.
probably, I want to say this will probably be his last time, but I don't know. Maybe he'll make cameos, like small cameos in the future. But this will be his last time probably playing the character as like the main character of the film.
Right, right. With the small cameos of other X-Men you mentioned, it's very far-fetched, but every time they mention other X-Men, I have my fingers crossed for a Jubilee feature. She's my favorite. I love her.
Yeah, she was
Wish
unfortunately in one of the worst X-Men movies in
I
X-Men
know.
Apocalypse.
I know. It's such a shame that they did her dirty like that.
Yeah, so X-Men is just I watched a little bit of the 90s cartoon when I was a kid, and most of my X-Men experience has been through the movies and a little bit, just a tiny bit of comics. I actually read um Joss Whedon's run on X-Men, the Astonishing X-Men, like a year or two ago. And yeah, X-Men is just daunting to get into because X-Men alone could, like, it, I was gonna say it could be, but it literally was its own cinematic universe. But even then, in comics, it could be its own universe. And for the
Right.
most part, the X-Men are in their own little bubble inside the Marvel
Man.
comics and have just a lot going on. So if I ever want to get an X-Men, it's gonna take a lot, and I'm gonna have to have some time and actually dedicate time to it. So I
Yeah, and
like
it's funny,
X-Men,
right?
but I'm just
Because
not deep into it.
that's real. That's real. It's funny because I'm the exact opposite. The rest of the MCU is like ancient runes to me. Don't know nothing about it. X Men. I have watched the entirety of the '90s cartoon back to front at least 3 times. Watched the reboot that was on cartoon not Cartoon Network, Nicktoons back to front at least twice. Like I haven't read many of the comics, but my uncle, who is huge into X Men, like owns first editions of a whole bunch of them. So when I'm at his house, I'll flip through them. Like it's the my family are more X Men fans than they are actual MCU fans, and I find that hilarious.
Yeah, the X-Men are very interesting characters. I'm excited
They're great.
to
They're
see
great.
them finally make their way into the MCU.
Yeah.